For the first day of class, September 8th.
We are fully prepared for a very smooth opening.
Cheryl Diori, attention wins at the Education Department on Chambers Street. Winds News Time 646. New steps in the search for a couple of suspects seen ripping down an LGBTQ pride flag from a tree outside of Patchogue.
Oh, you're not
Black
close
man
to,
while yelling anti-LGBTQ
to Main Street now?
slurs. Suffolk County Police today
Oh, that's the
video
building?
of the pair taken as they
Main
rode their
Street
bikes
is on
nearby.
the next one over. You
Officials say the
can't make a
64-year-old
right on Main
homeowner
Street
was in the front yard when
on
all this
there.
went down.
Oh.
People do it.
Right.
I'm not doing it.
No,
My
no, no,
luck.
no, no. No, just your luck. Just your luck.
Just my luck.
Yeah.
To join the local
No.
hate crimes unit in that investigation. If you know anything, call Crime Stoppers. Again, you can do it anonymously. 800-220-TIPS. Wednesday News Time 647.
You know those headlines that make you stop scrolling and actually read an article? I'm Mike Rogers. Those are the kinds of stories I'm diving into on my podcast, Something Off Beat, like the caterpillar infestation in Maine, and us rethinking our relationship with insects.
We were talking about a time 300 million years ago, if you can imagine. There was a dragonfly. It had a 2-foot wingspan.
Just search for Something Off Beat in the Odyssey app or wherever you get your podcasts.
Wednesday News Time 647. 6 men took a sledgehammer and spray paint to a beloved Gandhi statue outside a Hindu temple in Queens
For
late
no reason
Tuesday night,
whatsoever.
making this the second such attack in
At
less
all.
than 2 weeks, according to police. The concrete statue
No
of Mahatma
rationale.
Gandhi stood outside the temple for 7 years. An artist from Guyana created it. Congregation paid $3,000 to fly it in. And at Lakram Mirage spoke live on Newsline with our Bridget Quinn.
We look for the past couple of years that people goes to the house of worship and start destroying the house of worship or start shooting against people. Most of the members, as they reach out to us, that's what they're saying.
Maharaj says now some of his members, as you just mentioned, afraid to go to temple, worrying someone could show up with a gun. The incident now being investigated as a possible hate crime. The first time the statue was vandalized was back on August 3rd. A group of thieves pulling off a brazen robbery casually walked out of a Manhattan Lululemon carrying bags filled to the brim with clothing worth nearly 30
They just
grand,
walk in,
according to
put
police.
bags, and
Surveillance
just walk
video
out.
shows the group
And the
on
security
Manhattan
just stand in there,
Boulevard with
because the
piles of
security can't do
stolen
anything.
goods at the Meatpacking District store around 12
They can't do anything. There's nothing they could
One guy
do.
rolls a cart full of stuff right out the front door, right past the security guard.
Yep.
Another man follows with a pile of clothing in his arms. Now cops looking for 4 men, 3 women between the ages of 30 and 50 years old. We have those pictures
Security
they too
doesn't
up
have
on
any
our
powers,
website,
man.
1010wins.com. Take a look if you got any information. Call Crime Stoppers,
Want somebody to do something?
800-577-6.
Hire,
Yep.
That's the only people that has authority.
Yep. Well, many
If
Americans
you got
found
a person that's
themselves
just
severely
there,
impacted by
Yep,
airline
like a
issues
body.
this summer
Yep.
amid incredible demand
He
to
just
travel.
getting paid.
Airline
That's it.
schedules were impacted by huge crowds, low staffing, and weather.
A glorified
Federal government
civilian.
now
Yep.
warns
He
airlines
gonna
they need
look
to figure it out.
Gang,
How to
keep
take care of
moving.
passengers
Yep.
in such cases instead of just leaving them stranded.
It's a warning to airlines to shape up. The Department of Transportation is telling airline CEOs that they need to assess customer service plans like giving delayed passengers meals and hotel rooms to make sure that when you're on a delayed or canceled flight that you're adequately taken care of. And if the airlines don't do it on their own, the department will do it for them by setting new rules to ensure passenger rights during flight disruptions. In a letter, Transportation Secretary Pete Buttigieg saying Americans expect when they buy a ticket that they will arrive at their destination safely, reliably, and affordably. Alex Stone, EBC News.
And speaking of travel, the State Department has issued an updated travel advisory for travelers visiting Mexico, including new state-level advice and info on kidnapping risk. Last week, the State Department issued that alert to Americans after reports surfaced of multiple vehicle fires, roadblocks, and heavy police activity in Tijuana and the surrounding area. So they advise you to exercise increased caution when traveling to Nayarit and not to travel to Zacatecas. There's also more information on the kidnapping risk in many states, including Michoacan, Baja California, Jalisco, Puebla, and Quintana Roo. The CDC also found Mexico to be at a high level for COVID-19. Wednesday News Time, 6:50. Traffic and AccuWeather, 30 seconds away from you on 1010 Wins.
Years after
No, I have an idea why I am, man.
chemotherapy and surgery for breast cancer.
I had no idea why I was,
I
again.
had one hope left.
You were closer to my house than here.
In 3 years since Perlmutter Cancer Center
When you were over there.
managed to find the
I didn't know where I was, but you're closer to my house from that side?
Perlmutter offers
Yeah.
clinical trials for many
Oh my
You knew
God.
where you are.
No, I didn't know because it's the first time I come out
They
this
should
way.
know there's hope and help.
But you're closer to my house than here.
Cancer Center.
To learn more,
Because you
visit
pass by Jackson Heights.
SYULane.org/PPP.
Close to Jackson Heights and Flushing there.
Winds News
That's
Time,
okay.
6:51 traffic and transit.
I wouldn't have gotten those views if I
Nothing
didn't come.
good in Queens. Van Wyck northbound wreck involving an 18-wheeler at Jewel Avenue. Left lane out. You're bad back through the queue. Southbound Van Wyck at Hillside Avenue.
So this is Main
Another
Street
wreck
ahead.
involving a truck. This
Oh,
one has
okay.
the central lane knocked
And then you're
out.
going back that way?
No.
To get out? No, to get out. For you to get out.
No, that
Oh,
way.
to get out to go back home?
Yeah,
Okay.
the-
all right.
the Long Island Expressway is right there.
Okay, so you have to go back that way.
This
Okay.
is the railroad in, I think, 7,
Mhm.
isn't it?
Help out. Here's what you need to know about the bridges and tunnels. Citybound George still 45 to 60.
But our own office is this way also, right?
Yeah, the office is right there.
Right, and then you go in that direction. Yeah, okay. I just didn't want you to be going up. Like if you're going that way, I'll just get off and walk. But if you're going that way, that's
Lincoln
fine.
Tunnel into the city, it's about 45 to 60. Outbound 20 to 30. Still 60 or so at the outbound Holland. Inbound Holland 45 from the Skyway, better off the Newark Bay extension of the New Jersey Turnpike. Both southbound spurs of the Turnpike are abysmal. Western's the worst of it because of a wreck near 15E. Both northbound spurs are getting worse up past the Vince Lombardi, but the eastern spur is the worst of that. So if you want to save some time, southbound Eastern, northbound Western on the New Jersey Turnpike.
This is
I'm
the
Greg
7th
Weiss,
comes
reported
comes
701
here?
sign, 1010.
No, if it's by the office, I can take the bus.
Now to your official
I can take the
10
58 bus by the office.
Meteorologist Brian Thompson.
4160 Main Street, right?
It is going to be a warm
Yeah,
night
I can
tonight,
take the bus.
but
I'll take the bus
evening
better.
for United Yankees
The
game.
58 bus.
It should be very
It'll
should
put
be
me like
dry,
2
should
blocks
be
away from
pretty
my house.
comfortable. As temperatures will be steadily dropping here through the low 80s and down into the 70s over the course of the evening. We'll have a clear to partly cloudy sky, and then tomorrow intervals of clouds and sun.